How do you professionally say, "You are not my boss"? Okay, I understand your request. Let me run it by my manager before I get back to you. Please clear that with my supervisor. Not knowing the context, it's difficult to say, but generally you can say something like, "That sounds great, but my boss requires tasks like that pass through them so they can effectively manage the workload of the team. Then if necessary offer to help them contact your boss." Or, "I get what you're saying, but I can't do anything on it unless it comes down from Mr. Mrs. per megasecond, etc. Boss. I point at my boss and say you will have to ask him if you want me to do something for you. Same if it's an email request. If it's email, I just ignore them. If it's in person, I tell them to email me the request, then I ignore it. I can look at prioritizing this behind my assigned responsibilities. However, I cannot commit to a timeline as my workload is dictated by your boss's name. As a laborer, my current workload is set by the schedule put out by boss. You'll need to contact them for any changes since I'm not authorized to deviate from my assignments. As an semi-independent mid-rank employee, my workflow is document-driven, so you'll need to send that to my email and I'll put it in for review when I get back to the desk. Majority of the time they never email it. As a management position, I appreciate your input and will consider this when I make my final decision. Sorry, I am busy with a request from my boss. You're not my real mom. Single quote. My boss told me when I started that I'm always welcome to send people with requests to him. And that while I'm welcome to handle my workload as I see fit, my role is designed such that I'm only available to my team. And I am free to tell that to anybody outside of my team who I don't want to deal with. This is the best job I've ever had. Depends who's asking and what they're asking. I have lots of bosses. But if it's a coworker or salesperson bossing me around and having an oversized ego with me, I ignore them and do what I need to do. If they're nice about it, I'll be more inclined to help. GIF. I had to do this recently. I don't report directly to you. You have no power over me. You are not the boss of me now. And you're not so big. I often had to clarify this matter. I work as one of the only women in an outrageously male-dominated field. So you can imagine how that often went. I'd smile, very calm and gracious, and say sympathetically, "I believe there's been a misunderstanding about our professional relationship. You and I are colleagues. You are not my employer." These were not men with whom you could be subtle, unfortunately. This is hard to say without context. Typically, I'd say, "I appreciate your input. However, at this time I will follow my supervisor's direction for our next steps." Or you could say, "I'm happy to discuss this with my direct supervisor who can advise my next step. Until then, I will not be shifting my workload or focus until I've confirmed these changes with them." Or you could flat out say, "I currently report to who is my direct supervisor. They are the ones who will be directing my day-to-day tasks and focus. If you're looking for support on a project, please reach out to my supervisor directly for assistance. However, at this time, I'm unable to assist with your request due to some urgent projects tasks has assigned for me. Please follow the proper chain of command." Probably not helpful, but I remember telling one of my old managers after he pulled the "you work for me" card, "I work for corporation." Quote. If it's an email, I respond and CC my boss. I saw something along the lines of, let me ensure this is within my role and I'd be happy to help. Thoughts? Quote.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.